Hey everyone, my name's Walter, and here I am to read you some more stories from Reddit. These are going to be stories about interpersonal relationships, and they may come from several subreddits. They don't have to be romantic relationships, but we do have lots of those. And I've been trying to use the comments more lately, makes the video more fun. Anyway, let's just get into it with relationship stories from Reddit. Here's something we've never covered before. Am I the asshole for cutting down a neighbor's tree that was causing a huge mess on my grandpa's property? My grandpa is in his late 80s, and for almost 50 years his yard was his absolute pride and joy. My grandma died shortly after giving birth to my mom, and my grandpa maintained the yard as a tribute to her. He can't do it anymore, so we help out where we can. His original neighbor had a willow tree that they trimmed in such a way that the seed pods and leaves would not fall on my grandpa's property. A younger couple bought the house a few years ago to turn into an Airbnb, and they let the tree just grow. The leaves and seed pods then blew into my grandpa's yard, causing a huge mess. This would lead my grandpa to get into these huge finks because he couldn't go out and clean it up. I tried to have a conversation with the owners about hiring a landscaper. They would know what to do, as my grandpa and his previous neighbor had a system that worked for 20 years. How to put this, they are very uppity people who don't give a crap about the character of the neighborhood, and they said the tree photographs well the way it is for their Airbnb ads. I emailed them and Airbnb to see if we could come up with a solution. They refused and told me to stop bothering them. I decided to take it into my own hands. I went and cut down the tree. I waited for a time when I was able to talk to a bathroom remodel who said he would be there for 7 days. No Airbnb guests. I basically blended in with the other workers and brought that piece of crap down. The stump is a total hack job and looks bad, but I did remove all the wood and will use it for campfires this year at mountain bike races. My sister and cousins think I opened up a huge can of worms that we all will deal with, and have called me asshole among other things. But so far there's no fallout. Am I the asshole? So tree law is like Reddit's favorite. Sadly, the author deleted all of his comments, but he was doubling down as they are wont to do. Apparently he dismissed tree law as Reddit lore. Oh buddy, this isn't asshole territory. This is am I in the shit territory. There's a whole subreddit dedicated to tree law if you want to find out just how badly this is going to go for you. Came here to say this. Tree law people, do your thing. OP, you're going to get everything coming to you. Enjoy your lawsuits and huge financial penalties. I can't wait. OP has a comment somewhere saying, and I quote, "I'm pretty sure tree law is just Reddit lore." Man is in for a rude awakening. Yeah, I gotta wonder why he didn't just sneak onto the neighbor's property and trim the tree instead of cutting it down. It's still not really his right, but at least he probably wouldn't get sued for potentially hundreds of thousands, which is what happens in tree law. People lose their houses over this shit. You're the asshole. You could have just hired a gardener for your grandfather instead of cutting a tree in someone's private property. Yeah, or that. Unfortunately, we probably won't see the outcome of this story because it wasn't the owner who posted it. Let's move on. I, 24 female, live with my boyfriend, 27 male. For some context, we have been dating for 4 years and living together for 8 months. We live in an apartment I inherited, along with one more other house that I rent out and some cash inheritance. Now on to the story. Me and my boyfriend, we both love playing video games. We both have full-time jobs but still find time to play together as well as separately with our own friends. He is a much better player than I am. He plays tournaments and competition, whereas I just play for fun. A few months ago, my boyfriend started talking about some new PC and other items he wanted to upgrade his setup, and how he was saving up for it. I was okay with it since we have separate finances. He doesn't pay for the utilities but splits grocery, which wasn't an issue because I had extra income from the rental property. I thought I could use my inheritance money and get myself an expensive set upgrade as well. I took suggestions from YouTube and some friends. I scheduled the delivery for the day that I knew he won't be home all day. The setup came, they sent someone from the store to set it up for me. I used the PC for a while and it was amazing. My boyfriend came home during the evening and saw my new PC. I was so excited to see his reaction, but his face remained very dull. He looked at me and asked me why it was on my side of the room. I told him it was because it's mine. He asked me to confirm that I bought his dream setup for myself, and I said yes. He got visibly mad, but then said, "It's useless for you. We should just swap. You don't play well and won't be able to use it to its full potential. You can have mine." At first I just laughed because I genuinely thought he was joking, but when I realized he was being serious, I told him no. I said that I bought this for me. He blew up at me and told me that I need to buy the same one for him as well. When I said no again, he started yelling about how unfair I was being and how I wouldn't be able to appreciate technology like that since I am too dumb to even understand the specs. By that point, I was losing my shit, so I told him to get out. Yeah, it's totally worth ruining a 4-year relationship in the hopes that she gives her new PC away. Just call her dumb. Actually, I wouldn't be comfortable accepting a gift like that in the first place. Sounds like a lot of money. My partner just spent $100 on me for my birthday, and I'm just like, no, it's too much. But I guess some people are greedy. He grabbed a few items and left to stay with his best friend. Now his best friend and a few other friends are blowing up my phone, saying that as a girl I shouldn't own something so expensive that I don't understand, and I could buy him the same setup since I can afford it due to the inheritance. I don't have any loans, so it's not like I am saving the money for something particular in the future, which is making me doubt if I was the asshole. Edit, to everyone saying that it's kind of my fault for buying the exact same setup he told me about and flaunted in his face. I do understand your point and take responsibility for it, but he never really mentioned any specific models. Like he would say how this brand has launched some really powerful items in the past few years, or how that brand has such amazing monitors. I did know the brands he was referring to, but when it came to purchasing, I depended on YouTube reviews and suggestions from my gaming friends. It was purely a coincidence that it happened to be exactly what he wanted. I do understand that I should have maybe been more aware, but I genuinely didn't know that it would offend him since I wasn't doing it out of spite. If anything, at the back of my mind, I had thoughts like we could have twin setups eventually and make cheesy TikTok videos on weekends. Jeez, I guess I forgot that things just get handed to people if they know more about them. For some reason I thought the person who gets a new PC is the one who can pay for it. These friends have no shame too. If my friend asked me to call his girlfriend and hassle her to give him something, I'd tell him to fuck off. It's none of their business. But we have an update. Update, it's 11 p.m. here right now, and I am kinda shocked at everything that happened today. I made the original post in the morning before I left for work. While I was at work, I received an alert from my security system. I checked my front door cam and see my boyfriend at the door, walking in with his key. Something didn't feel right, so I checked the camera in our game room. We set it up months ago when he wanted us to do streams. I had set it up in the morning before leaving, just in case. Now I feel so much better that I did. I see him trying to unplug my monitor and I immediately call the police. By the time I reach home, 2 officers are waiting outside my door with my boyfriend. He claimed that he was just at the apartment to get some stuff like clothes and other essentials. I had no energy to argue, so I just show the camera footage and he starts apologizing. He goes on and on about how his friends riled him up to steal my system to teach me a lesson. What bothers me the most is that all this while he hadn't texted me once. Not a single call or anything. His first instinct was to break into my apartment. The cops asked me if I wanted to press charges, and I said no. I know most of you will not be happy with this, but I kinda want to be done with this thing. I asked for my key back and told him that I will send his PC and other stuff to whatever address he wants later, but I don't want him or his friends to come over. And if I receive a single accusatory text from him or his friends, I will go ahead and press charges. He kept trying to apologize, but I stood my ground. I'm genuinely surprised at how I didn't break down in front of him. I'm still in disbelief at how my 4-year-long relationship just crumbled in 24 hours. I called my mom and she's on her way to my place. She will be staying the night as I no longer feel safe in my own home. I just wanted to thank everyone who texted me and gave me advice. I am taking the day off tomorrow and I will be changing the locks and sending him his stuff back tomorrow. Not the asshole. Seriously, in 2022 they're still saying girls can't handle equipment or are too dumb to understand? Sounds like the dude is getting free rent, discounted everything else, and still wants more. What does he actually do for you in the relationship? Does he help cook and clean or share more expenses? If he has a full-time job, he should be able to afford a dang gaming computer at almost 30 with not a ton of bills to pay. Then he throws a hissy misogynistic fit? No, I wouldn't have it. Of course, that comment was left before he tried to steal her computer. I doubt anyone is going to say to stay with the guy now. What was his end goal here anyway? Was she supposed to just not notice it was him? Some people sure think everyone else in the world is stupid. But I think we have time for one more idiot. Am I the asshole for suggesting my girlfriend to wear less makeup? Yeah, I wonder what his motivation is here, am I right? Obligatory throwaway and mobile statement. My, 22 male, girlfriend, 21 female, works in chemical synthesis. It may sound cool, but it's about the equivalent of a boring 9-to-5 office job, but just in a laboratory instead. We live together and commute together, dating for 2 years. My girlfriend is very pretty. She has a natural beauty to her, and while she's not the most girly of girls, she does usually wear some makeup every day. Nothing too glam, just simple and natural, like concealer for blemishes, a little bit of eyeliner, that's it. She still looks very gorgeous, and I love her as she is. Recently, I've noticed she started wearing more makeup, with things like pink or red lip gloss or glittery eyeshadow of non-natural colors or highlighter to work. I was a bit confused as I don't see the point, because her work requires her to wear a lab coat and goggles and long pants and things that in general really aren't requiring of her to make a whole look of her appearance since she wears protective stuff over it. When I asked her about it, she said it was just her way of having fun each day to do some nice makeup. She doesn't have many coworkers, and she says a lot of the work she does in the lab is just on her own. So it's just something she does for herself for fun every day. But the thing is, I know she has at least one male coworker, and many, if not all, of the higher-ups that she communicates with in her department are middle-aged men. She works very closely/frequently with her mentor, who is a man in his 40s as well, and she speaks very highly and fondly of him, and I worry that they'll see her being all glammed up and get the wrong idea. I suggested she wear less makeup to work and just go back to her natural routine she was doing because she looked pretty that way, and I don't want her giving men the wrong ideas. I feel like my request was reasonable and casual, but when I asked, she went timid and quiet and has been since and now. I'm starting to wonder, am I the asshole? Yeah, I see. He's all like, I sure would hate it if other men tried to take my property. I don't really like his assumptions about the men either. It's always something to the effect of, well, I would be a creep in this situation, so I'm sure all the other guys will. And he just doesn't believe her that she's doing it for herself. Obviously, it must be for older men she works with. Anyway, I think that's about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you have something to say, make sure you let me hear it in the comments, because I'll be reading them for the first day or two at least. If you're new here, consider subscribing for more of the same. I do have some future plans. I have an incel story I want to read. Also, January 12th is my birthday, and I'm planning to stream that day. I don't stream nearly as often as I should, so you might want to check it out. Big thanks also to my awesome patrons. I'll be shouting them out by name very soon here, when I make a video that gets more views than this. Well, have a great day, everyone, and leave your neighbor's trees alone.